Okay, we are live. We are a minute early. We're going to wait just a moment, and we have a really special guest to introduce to you tonight. We're super excited. Let's start with our theme song. Let me go get it. Let me go grab it. Open that guy up real fast. Hold on. Okay, here we go. Okay, let's do it.
One, two, three, yeah, money there, no fuss, just flow. Amy, James, honeys run the show. No pressure, just profits. Yo, ninja touch, we get rid of it. Gain confidence for your benefits. Creativity is key, let's work to it. Plus, we got free prizes every week. Honey there, we got the help if you need it. Honey there, check in with us. The honey there, check in with us. The honey there, check in with us. Honey there, yeah.
Awesome. Welcome. Oops, I'm trying to open my Zoom now and getting all crazy here. 2 seconds. My computer is going nuts. All right. Okay, here we are. So I am super excited. Hi, Ashley. Welcome. Hi, Jovan. Jovan, welcome. You guys are both in the draw. I'm going to screenshot you right now. Put you guys in the wheel. We have a new, really cool wheel. We have a bunch of new, really cool prizes. So I am screenshotting your guys' names now. You guys will get in the draw every time you comment. That's how you get into the draw. And if you are on some other platform, come over to facebook.com/thehoney-dare. Comment.
The Honey Dare.
Right. Comment there.
THEHEYDARE.
I can't understand your accent.
The Honey Dare. This is an interesting thing in communication, actually. Before we even get into some of the other stuff, a lot of the time we know what's going on in our brain. So when we talk really fast, we're quickly getting to a point, but we may lose some people in the drag through.
True, and I tend to talk fast. So I literally have people on my calls that'll say, can you slow down a little bit? Okay, so I am excited because we're going to introduce this amazing lady. She does emotional healing through decluttering. And I'm super excited about that because Jamie and I love energy. Energy is emotions. Emotions is energy. When you master that, go ahead.
Emotion is energy in motion.
Exactly.
So when you have an emotional rush, it's because energy has flowed through your body and you've given it a specific meaning. And that specific meaning is attached to your beliefs, which is a reflection of your upbringing and past. So a lot of the time you are living as an echo of how you were raised in the belief structures of those people, as opposed to you being genuinely true to the moment. When you become aware of that, though, the actual fact that you recognize it changes subconscious to conscious, which means it has less effect.
Exactly. So
there you go, kids. That's it. That's a wrap. Yeah, next week we'll have the actual guest in who will actually tell you real stuff.
No,
that was real, but she's got real.
She's got real. So our guest today is a gal named Yoggi Parmar. She's fascinating.
Yoggi Parmar.
I'm gonna let her tell you about her background and stuff. But she's on a mission to help people declutter, organize, and win their freedom from stuff. And I know Jamie loves this because he hates stuff.
I hate clutter. People ask me, oh, if you had all the money in the world. I'm like, well, I wouldn't be talking to you. No, if people said, if I had all the money in the world, what kind of house would you have, Jamie? And people are like these 4,000-story mansions made of white marble and gold. And I'm like,
that's me.
An open shed, nothing, a couple of things on the wall, maybe a loft bed so I can get up, and I could probably just rollerblade around on the floor. Have a bathtub over in one corner and my loft bed over in the other corner, and probably a little kitchenette.
Can I bring on Yoggi?
Sure.
Okay. So everybody jump out of your chairs. Wherever you're at, stand up, give a big round of applause for Yoggi Parmar. Hi, Yoggi.
Yoggi!
Oh, my goodness.
It's so good to see you guys. Thanks for having me here.
It's so good to see you, Yogi. You have a fascinating background. We spoke with your husband.
The background looks white. It's
No,
fascinating. It's like lighter in one corner.
Clutter-free background.
We've got those are the prizes, though. Those are all the prizes. So
Give them away.
we actually finally got to a point where, because we do unboxings for people. And so we ended up with all these products, and some of them we wanted, some of them we didn't. I mean, they're great, but we don't need like 2 or 3 of them, or maybe like one product was like for a baby carrier, and I'm like, I don't have a baby. So we're like, oh, let's start giving this stuff away.
That's awesome. I love that, you are actually doing the process of clearing things that you don't need for yourself. So that's awesome.
Yeah. Tell us about, well, first tell us about your background. Where are you originally from?
Well, I was actually born in Tanzania, East Africa. Yay! And lived there for about 10 years. Then moved to the UK, where I met my husband, got married. That led us to come to the US. And so I've done a lot of travel, lived in many different places. It's been an amazing journey. But right now, I am in Las Vegas.
Yes. Not far from us either, but we
not far from you guys. Yes.
Awesome. Yeah. And so tell us about why did you get into this? What got you into decluttering? And go ahead.
Yeah. So, my story kind of goes back in 2010 is when what happened then was my husband received a call from our immigration attorney at that time, and he did not have some good news. So he first said, I have some bad news. The bad news is you are not going to get your immigration visa that you have applied for. You have basically 2 options. Option 1, become illegal, or option 2, leave the country. And what we decided as a family was probably best to just leave the country. We didn't want to get in trouble with the law. Mm-hmm. So we on actually July 4th, Independence Day, I remember, because we started the whole letting go process. So we sold, we donated, we let go of literally about 95% of our stuff. After we did that, 30 days after that, we kind of embarked on our journey, and which was supposed to be like a few months, that ended up being like a 5-year global adventure of traveling.
And wait a minute, I want to be clear. When you say we, you're talking about you, your husband, and 2 kids.
2 kids. There were, my oldest daughter, Shivani, she was 10 at that time. And my youngest daughter, Kushani, she was 5, almost 6. Yeah.
Not easy to have kids in tow.
Yeah. So we had to homeschool them. So we knew that, okay, this journey is going to be something totally different. We always dreamt about, doing something crazy, traveling as a family. But it was this letting go process that opened those doors for us to do that. And we had no idea it was going to be like 5 years of traveling like that, and it was after those amazing 5 years when I came back, I just wanted to help people with their decluttering and organizing. So I was just helping literally family and friends. And that passion of mine is what, turned into a career for me after we returned back. So 2015, we returned, helped friends for like a couple of years. I think I was on and off helping a lot of people. And then 2016, 2017 is when I said, I want to take this to the next level and start helping more people. So that's how I got into doing what I do now.
That's great, because there's a lot of people out there that are doing something right now because it just helps another person, not realizing that that's an actual skill they have that can support a lot of people into having a better life. So that went from, first of all, a sudden 90-degree turn from immigration lawyer going, hey, and you're like, okay, so what can we do? And that's what we ask people to look at, is where you, because you have energy, you have flow in life, and if you hit a wall, what can you do? It's not a stop, it's a change. And so when you accept the change and go with it, you guys had a 5-year adventure, yet you learned a skill set out of necessity, also probably some natural skill that you had, and turn that into a profession that actually helps people on more levels than they probably imagine at first.
Absolutely. I mean, I think the whole letting go process, like, I had no idea that, there was energy related stuff, to this work, right? It's as we started letting go of things that we held on, things that we, had certain labels, like, for instance, when you receive gifts from family members, right? You accept them, but maybe part of you doesn't need it, want it, or love it, but you, out of guilt and you want to make the other person feel better, you end up accepting it. But then that sits there, and because like in our experience, when we were faced with our stuff, that's the first step, like the reality of facing all of our stuff. And then seeing a lot of these items, like these gifts that came from other people, it's like, why do I still have this? And it has certain energy, these things.
And that's actually a really good segue about gifts that you may have received from people. It's my birthday tomorrow, so any of you got
actually
these
your
gifts?
birthday's Thursday.
We're taping this in the future.
Happy birthday!
So anybody's got gifts that are worth over $1,000 from relatives that don't want, you can forward them to me, and I'm here to help you. Let me help you.
Jamie, I hope you have space for those gifts. That's all I can say.
Yeah. And my space is called eBay.
Yeah, that's a good point you bring up, actually. So, we found ourselves, as we went through this process, like how much money we were able to make from things that we no longer needed, used, or loved anymore. And that a lot of times people have a hard time letting go because they feel like, okay, they've spent so much money and time invested in certain things, and then they feel bad letting something like that go, because they know that they're not going to get anything back for that. So yes, by releasing it, you're not just releasing the stuff, but the energy that's connected with that. So this is the energy that, okay, for instance, if you invested in something that's expensive and then you don't have no longer use for it, or is broken, is not working, but you still have it, right?
Yep.
What kind of energy would that item hold? It would hold frustration that is not working. It may hold regret, or it may hold this feeling of, oh my God, like I spent so much time. So it's those energies, what I'm talking about, that releasing that can open up a lot of amazing things in your life, but by letting go, you're releasing it. Yeah.
The longer you hold on to it, those emotions that you express will increase, because you're constantly reminded of a tiny little frustration.
And you're stacking it.
You're
right.
Frustration on top of the resentment, of the concern, till all of a sudden this thing, you see it and instantly, because we react emotionally far quicker than we react consciously, logically. So we're reacting emotionally to something because we're building up a negative association with it, even though it wasn't originally created that way.
Right.
Onto something is like putting a dam against a creek. At some point, that dam will break.
Yep. And we actually had a very similar experience. So we owned a gym up in Washington State, And I chose a bad business partner, and we lost it literally like overnight.
And the business partner's name is, and you can contact him on 360.
He's still feeling the emotions from that. I get it.
You know what we did at the time? We said, okay, you know what? This happened. I can't fix it. We have to figure out of this. And every time I go down the path, but he did this and he did that, Jamie go, yeah, but what do you want? What do you want? No, he.
So you know, when we're working with physical stuff, like so for in your case, you know, it was a business thing that did work out, right?
Yeah.
And with business comes stuff, you know, there's things that are related, you know, even simple as office stationery stuff, you know, things that you got for your business, but now they're just literally sitting there collecting dust, collecting those energies that may have built up because of things not working out, right?
And then we had all this gym equipment. So it was gym equipment, but then on top of that,
Heavy.
Yeah, heavy. Like my best friend Jenny and I moved it all. He was in Canada.
Yeah.
We were literally moving everything in our 2 little Priuses. I mean, we moved it all to her garage. And so then we were like, okay, well, what do we want? You know, every time we went down the path of this jerk, we're like, what do we want? And we said, well, we want to travel. We've been locked down to this thing. Now we can travel. So now we own this home. And now we're like, well, we don't need the home.
Yeah.
We can rent it out.
Right.
We're traveling now. So we ended up traveling. We ended up working. That's how we started working with seminar companies. Originally, we had applied for cruise ships. So we were going to just sell everything and go work on a cruise ship.
Wow, that's fantastic.
But at that point, when we were applying for the cruise ships, we started to declutter everything. And we were holding garage sales and throwing stuff up on eBay. We threw everything. We got rid of everything.
She sold me twice, and they brought me back.
You got sold as well, but you came back, see, because you're still needed in, you know, in this relationship. So there you go.
Exactly.
It looked like you struggled to find a reason there. Not needed.
You know what? It was an incredible experience. And at the time, we even had 2 cars, and we sold one of our cars. To this day, we only have 1 car. We don't need 2 cars.
Yeah.
And
I think it's really about identifying what is really important to you right now in your current situation, you know, and also we can look ahead in the future as well. Like, okay, what are the things that you are surrounding yourself that's going to continue supporting you, right, in that vision, you know? If there are things that are carrying these not so great energies in your surrounding, it's only taking you back, right? So it's identifying those, and you know, I have a 5-step method that I take people through. And when we get to the second step is when they are actually asked certain questions to help them understand and decide what is the best thing to do with every item that they have that may be causing this energy block in their space.
Awesome. Yeah, and it was really
so a 5-step process.
Yes.
Guarantees you uncluttering success.
My 5-step method is it's called S.P.A.C.E. Thanks to my husband, he came up with that amazing name. As you know, he's a big Star Wars and Star Trek fan, so he came up with that name thanks to him. But what it stands for sorting, purging, assigning, containerizing, and engaging. So I'll quickly break it down, you know, how this method works. So, you know, when you're starting a project, it's important once you are starting like either an area or a room, you work with a category, and you know, you get that category together, and then within the category, you maybe again sorting that out. So for instance, clothes, if you get your clothes, within the clothes category, there is pants, there's shirts, there is, you know, other clothes related stuff, and you separate them. And that's
Uniform.
the sorting process. And then the second part of this method is called purge, where you are asking important questions to identify whether it's something that you still need to hold on to, keep, what kind of energy you're feeling with this stuff. So I have like almost like 25 different questions you can ask to help you get to that right decision and help you let go of things that no longer serve you. And then the third step, which is assigning it. So once the purging is done, you're left with your actual belongings. So all the stuff that you had before is stuff that you've let go of. Now you're left with your actual belongings. And it's these belongings where you need to actually assign them in the right location in your home. So everything has a place in your home. And then once you've assigned it, then you are going into the fourth step, which is, getting into the organizing part, where you are containerizing. So you're selecting the right type of containers, the right kind of solutions to keep your things organized. And then the last step, which is the most important, which is engaging in this new system. Like, you've spent all this time and money to get everything set, right? So now it's important where you get to engage in this system. So creating new habits, creating new rules, so that the system is working for you and you never end up going back to that, crazy clutter that you had collected before. So yeah, so that's like the 5-step S.P.A.C.E method.
I love it. That's awesome. That's awesome. And it really can be healing emotionally, because I know for us, it was really healing to realize we didn't need all that stuff.
Yeah.
We were, and we were also of the mind, like, when we're ready to get it again, like we got rid of our TV at the time, because we were traveling. We didn't need a TV. We were living in hotel rooms all the time. There was TVs in the hotel rooms.
Right.
But we said, okay, when we do get to a place where we want, we're going to get a better one.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Really
the flow will happen. Like, you mentioned a very important point here. A lot of times, a lot of my clients, and personally myself as well, I have felt a huge emotional release as well. So I'll just touch upon something that, from my childhood. I had a very traumatic experience in my childhood. And those traumatic experiences were something that I had been carrying, and some of them were present in the stuff that I carried. So, like, for instance, I had some journals I used to write in, right? And in those journals were all this frustration, upset, everything that I put in there. But I kept it, and I kept it right next to me where I slept, right? So no wonder I couldn't sleep, because those energy was still like right next to me, right? So releasing things like that, like I've done a lot of personal development work, and that has helped. But it wasn't until I did this big decluttering where I felt the most release. And I've seen that again and again with working with a lot of my clients as well. I'm seeing many different situations where they've also, had this emotional release through doing this letting go process and getting their home organized.
Yeah, absolutely, because it only takes a fraction of 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 an instantaneous moment
Yeah.
for you to have a thought, for you to have an observation. For example, you look at a book on the side of your bed, subconsciously 100% of what's written in there and why is instantly remembered and recalled in the brain. Consciously, you're not looking at it because you're on the next thing. You're looking for your car keys. Subconsciously, you're reacting to it. Subconsciously, you're having an emotion. All the electrical charge in the body we call emotions are chemicals. Chemicals are energy, energy, chemical. And those chemicals affect your overall health and affect the flow of thought. So you can be limited in your opportunity to have better thoughts because you're cluttered by the environment of the past. And that's why spring cleaning is such a big thing around the world. It's like getting rid of stuff, and you're wiping down, you're removing the dust. And the interesting thing that watching a science program. What a shocker! The other day, in between my cartoons, and the concept that we're actually all dead, walking around, because the skin cells that we see on our body are actually dead. And they're exfoliating. So we're like, we are zombies walking around.
Yes, we are.
Hey, you're sleeping next to a zombie. And she goes, yes. But that's the story. But the thought is that the spring clean, the cleaning, your skin cells is the dust that is around your house.
Yeah. And how, when you do the work, how do you actually feel? Like, I mean, you guys have experienced a lot of travel, letting go of stuff, and, the kind of flow of energy that comes after the work is done, right? It's just, it's hard to explain, but it's very magical, you open a lot of great opportunities, when you're in that flow.
Absolutely, yeah. Jamie was just saying you actually increase your dopamine levels. So there was a doctor that my best friend went and saw, and so what he talks about is the hit of dopamine that you get, like when you complete a project or when you, like, finish the dishes. So he would always go, that's not dishes. That's your opportunity for dopamine. Now go get your dopamine.
That's how you get you to do the dishes.
So one day at our old house, our cat had puked on the floor, and I was outside, and Jamie yells at me, "Amy, your cat puked on the floor," and I was your cat. I'm down in the paddock, and I go, "That's not cat puke. That's your opportunity for dopamine."
Yay!
And he goes, "Come get your own damn dopamine."
Several other words as well.
Several Aussie words.
For those of you who speak Australian, you probably know what words I use.
And so Linda just goes, "Jamie, you're so funny." And Linda, you got another entry into the draw. So
the magic wheel of joy.
Oh, where's our wheel? Where's our wheel? So every time you guys comment, you get entered into the draw to win. More comments, more entries.
And every time you comment something positive about me, you get 4,000 entries. Now, I can't completely back that up with facts.
I can't verify that.
I can't verify.
Man, oh man. Awesome.
It is actually true, because when you have a thought about something, that energy resonates in your body. Because like right now, if we talked about eating a lemon, a juicy lemon, a very spicy juice, and how it stings the lips a little when you bite into it, you actually have more saliva in your mouth right now from me potentially talking about lemon. So your body has physically, chemically, biologically reacted. The same thing is happening the instant you see things that are cluttering your space. And having your system, which I love that you have these 25 questions, because when you ask the right questions, you get better answers, you get better results in your life. And most of the people we work with, it's a matter of they help people readjust to what the person says they want consciously, yet they're carrying all this baggage of expectation, of past experiences, of past things or clutter in their life. And they're carrying this all with them. And we just merely point out, you say you want this, but you're doing this.
Right.
Let's start doing this and start focusing on this. And they're like, oh, it feels weird. It's like, yes, doing the right thing after doing the wrong thing for so long will feel different.
Right.
Until the right thing is your new habit. And that's when you start to go, oh, wow, life is a lot more exciting now that I let go of all this stuff.
Yeah, well, it's interesting. You bring up habits, right? So the way I used to help my clients is more in-person work, and with this current situation, obviously things had to be shifted a little bit different. And I'm supporting more people through my online coaching program. And what I have found, helping people this way through online, where I'm not there physically helping them do the work, right? I'm finding that they are themselves doing the work and creating these new habits, which is starting to sort of become more automatic for them. So they're more in that flow of practicing these new rules that were set up, the decluttering, process that needs to happen. They're actually doing the work and changing their situation. And once that is set, they'll never need to, have to go through a program or hire, a professional organizer and spend, money on something like that. That, it can be done, if they know what are the steps, what to do. And by creating these habits, it's going to be a game changer for them.
That's amazing. And you even help people move. You help people do whatever they need, right?
Yeah, I mean, I've had many different types of clients. Of one which here's a story that I have permission to share. I won't mention name, but it was a couple. But it was a gentleman who actually hired me. His wife had passed away like 5 years ago, but when he got to a place of like needing help, he's like, I need to like organize my space, take out stuff here that I don't need to keep anymore. And he had a lot of his wife's things all over his home, right? So his wife had passed away 5 years ago, but his home, when I went into the home to help him and work on his, this project, his wife's things were present as if she was still here, present now, right? And that was just so emotional and so sad, like, that somebody who could have moved on with his, I know grief is a hard thing to deal with,
yeah.
But, sometimes you need that extra support and help to get you through that. And as we started doing the work and clearing up and letting go, there was a lot of emotional roller coaster that took place, but he got to a place of releasing, all these things that he was holding on to, that belonged to his wife. Like, like things like her makeup, that it was still sitting there in the bathroom, as if she was still there, So when I'm able to transform somebody's life, to get to a place of clearing that, and now they're left with this opportunity or possibility. What he said to me at the end when we finished organizing the space, he removed most of his wife's things. They were donated. He felt good that he was giving it to people who really needed, homeless shelters that here in Las Vegas. And he was like, no, Yogi, maybe now I can maybe even think about dating again. And that was just, this is why I love what I do, because I know by releasing these, these things that doesn't serve somebody, and I knew that he had to go through that process of that up and down roller coaster to release, the things that were holding him back. And he knew that, his wife's memories, all the experiences that shared, that's always going to be with him. But what he's releasing is things that can be used by somebody else and appreciated by other people. And it will also create a different environment for him to move forward in his life.
Wow, that's amazing. And Linda said that's so nice that he got to move on with your assistance and guidance.
Yeah,
that's incredible.
That was great.
It's great because everything we do isn't just the thing we do. Mm-hmm. Everything we do has multiple ripple effects. Now, our intention, our energy placed in our intention, plus where we place our attention, creates those ripples. And those ripples can be empowering or disempowering. Now, with you, your intention is always to help and serve and support. So those rippling effects may be a little disturbing for someone, but overall, when they ride that wave of that ripple, they find that they're in a far better place than when they started.
Right, yeah.
The intention, the energy of intention.
Exactly. And, that's why, I mean, one of the process I have my clients go through is, once they've faced their stuff, to then kind of think about a vision of what they want to create for the environment. and what does that vision look like for them? And when you have clarity of that vision, even in that cluttered space, if you can create that, you can have something to hold on to work towards, right? And that's how we begin the work, and it's a constant reminder of this commitment of, this is the vision I want for myself, my life, and this is what I'm working towards. So my job becomes, about constantly reminding them what they're working on and holding that space for them to make sure that we get to that, end state where he can start or she can start, seeing that vision come to life.
Right. Yeah, that's incredible. Jamie's doing.
We've got a wine cellar here that we just put in.
He's doing wall shadows, I thought.
That's fun. We used to do that a lot with our kids when they were younger.
Funny. Yeah, that's really, it's really powerful, and stuff does carry energy, and it's like, even like if you think of like your wedding ring, it carries an energy with it when you put it on, and go ahead.
Yeah.
I mean, like everything is made up of energy. Everything's got atoms and cells, protons, neutrons, circulating around. Well, actually appearing and disappearing when you really get into it. It's exciting. Everything is made up of the same structure. We're all made of the same things here on the planet. Now, if you were to put your hand against a cold wall, there's a transference of energy. If you were to think of something like we did with the lemon, there's a transference of energy, the thought. So every single thing that you've engaged with, if you've touched the thought of or seen of it, there has been an energy exchange.
Yeah.
That's why trees grow fantastically for me, because I'm always talking to them. I'm like, hello, tree. And they're like, leave me alone, Jamie. Enough of that.
But, with your happy energy, of course, the tree, will flourish. This is the kind of energy like you put towards things, right? So if the energy is not feeling good, there is or it has certain labels to them, then that maybe it's time to release that, to out there to somebody who will appreciate it and need it. Not the energy, but the actual item. So what we are releasing is our energy, but also there's a whole art to releasing. When you're letting go of something, it's acknowledging what that items and how it served you, right? So being grateful, for instance, and I always say thank you and then release it. Because you're changing the energy related to that stuff. It's not going to go away with the energy you felt about it, right? And now whoever is going to receive that gift is going to appreciate it and use it, and it'll be a totally different experience for that person.
I love it.
And do the same thing with people in your life as well. If you find that there's a situation,
very true.
You bless them for the experience you've had, and you wish them well in their next experience that has nothing to do with you. I mean, I'm talking about
Are you talking about our ex-business partner?
I can totally understand.
Call him up, tell him.
I can totally understand. My husband has had several business relationship that didn't pan out the way it should have, and these things can really take up effect on you personally, and the people that you surround yourself with as well, because if your energy is shifting, you're shifting your family or other people who are around you, their energy too, because they are feeling that, right? So like for my husband, when he came out of a business or past business relationship, first thing I had him do is, okay, let's work on the actual letting go process of identifying, first of all, what are the things that are related that you used in your office space. So he's been fortunate enough to work from home, but in his office space, for all this old paperwork manuals, business stuff related to his old partners, and things that obviously brought up these emotions for him. And so I said, that needs to be released, and the moment he cleared that, I mean, literally within weeks, things started shifting for him.
So let me get this right. He went into his office space where he was surrounded with memories and clutter and circumstances and things that used to be part of his work criteria. So removing that, like his, you mentioned books, manuals, his clothes. So there he was in his office, naked, no longer.
But he's also surrounded by scorpions and pet scorpions, pet tarantula. Do you guys still have the fuzzy tarantula?
No, we don't. The tarantula is no longer with us. We currently have two snakes and one bearded dragon. That's still with us.
Oh, I love the bearded dragon. He's cute.
He's cute, yeah.
So, hey, we play a game with all of our guests called Pando.
Pando from a small little company out of Boise, Idaho. Fantastic. Yes. Everyone go check it out if you haven't seen it. I think Amy's got a link on our sponsor page where you can go find it.
So it's a stack of cards. Boom. And we have the draw at the front and discard at the back. So how it works is we draw a card for you.
There's two questions.
There'll be 2 questions on the card. You don't answer it. Everybody's going to judge you. This is the They're going to judge you based on what they've seen of you.
What they've heard so far.
Bijal did not get to play Pando. We can pull a Pando card for Bijal.
We can pull a Pando card
We'll pull one. Stick around, Bijal.
Are you in your office not wearing clothes? Because
where is his back?
We just got into talking so much with Bijal that we didn't get into playing it. So okay. So now Bijal, you can't answer this question. Let everybody else answer first.
You can answer it, just don't answer straight away.
Just don't answer straight away. Wait till everybody else has answered because you're probably going to know the question because you know we're better than anybody else. Okay.
Or this could be a shocking new revelation for the two of you.
Exactly. Could be.
You said what?
How well do we know each other, right?
Okay, this is good. Okay, so for Yoggi.
So this is it, guys. At home, you've got a card here. There's 2 questions on it. It's a fun little game. Now, these questions are sometimes they're personal, sometimes they're random, sometimes they're weird, but they're great because everyone gets to express what they believe the answer is. So we get to realize how we form opinions. We form opinions all the time. Now, the interesting thing is, which I won't tell you until after we answer the questions because I don't want to give it away. Yet, there's something about human behavior I'll explain after we play this little game.
Okay, so in her house, who usually holds the remote? Is it her or Bijal, her husband, or the kids? And number 2, what brand are the pants or shorts that I have on right now? So those are the 2 questions. I put them up there. You guys can answer. When you answer, remember you're going to get a prize. You're going to get entered into the prize draw.
Yeah, because comments go into the prize draw.
Yep. So all comments go into the prize draw. So every time you make a comment, you get into the draw. So go ahead. We got a few of you watching right now. So, answer below for Yoggi in her house and take a guess. Any guess, it doesn't matter. It'll get you in the prize draw. In her house, who usually holds the remote and what brand of pants? Oh my God, Linda goes, I love Pando.
Right.
Linda, you just got another draw.
The remote's obviously got a label on it and it goes in the right position. And it goes in the container marked things to use now.
And if you guys are on and you're not on, okay, yep. If you guys are on another platform other than our Facebook page on the Honey Dare, I might not be able to see your responses.
Yeah, well, we need to see your responses. So flip on over here to the Facebook.
Flip on over to Facebook. Oh,
Facebook.com.
Bijal and Loft. You're wearing Loft. That's what Linda says. Linda says Bijal holds the remote and you're wearing Loft pants. I have not heard of that brand.
Okay.
Okay.
What's
Amy,
your guess?
What's your suggestion?
I'm going to say that I'm going to say Bijal holds the remote, and she's probably not wearing any specific design.
Amy.
Well, like no.
Oh no, it's designer. Not
Yeah,
anything.
you thought I was gonna say she's sitting there not wearing pants.
Not wearing
at all.
anything. Don't take my
No, I think she's probably wearing maybe like Levi's or something. Maybe Levi jeans.
I'm gonna go.
Or Lululemon. Maybe Lululemon.
Don't take. I'm gonna say Lululemon.
Okay.
I'm gonna say Lululemon.
Stick with Levi's.
And Cushy holds the remote.
Cushy holds the remote?
Yep.
Okay.
She's like, where's the remote?
Okay.
She runs around the house. You're not
Bijal, you can give your answer now if you
Now,
want.
Bijal, let's you say with the at-home advantage. If you're not still there, this is going to be very awkward.
It's gonna be
Yeah. If you don't even awkward, like super awkward. He went to check and the door's locked. Let me in. He's like, I don't even know where the remote is.
I have a good one for Bijal here.
And the next one is for Bijal.
If he's still here. Well, he's not answering. I know there's a delay.
Oh, here he is.
I am the remote master.
He is.
I am the remote. I don't even need to hold the damn thing. I just am the remote.
I am the remote. Light.
Okay, so what's the truth, Yoggi?
So Yoggi,
And
what's your answer?
Okay, yes, Bijal does hold the remote, that's for sure, on all the TVs. And in terms of my pants, I'm not wearing any particular branded pants. I actually don't like those labels. I just cut them out, so I don't even remember what label it was on my pants. So you were close, Amy.
Jeans, some kind of jeans.
Yeah.
Well, says I'm gonna go check her pants now.
No, you stay here for your question.
Bijal, keep it clean.
Just a second. I'm checking the pants. I'm checking the pants.
Sure you are.
Okay,
Sure
Bijal can jump in here because we've got the question for him now.
To go. My interview.
So for Bijal's question, would he rather go boating or shopping? And how many cities has he lived in?
Whoa!
That's a good question for Bijal.
Well, I'd say he'd rather go shopping than boating. And I'm going to say that he's lived in. So
I'd say
not visited, lived in. Yeah, that'd be your primary resident at that point in time. Because I've visited hundreds and hundreds of cities.
I'd say 6. I'd say he lives in 6.
I would say 12.
Linda says boating in 12 cities.
What?
Yep, that's what Linda says.
Don't just copy my answer before I say it.
She said it before you did.
That doesn't matter.
Bijal said she gets her pants from the UK.
Yeah, I do.
That's awesome.
Really?
That's cool.
English britches.
English britches. I like it. I say boating. I say he'd rather go shopping. He'd rather go shopping. I'm going to say 6 cities. So Linda's got another entry into the draw, and so does Bijal, because both of them made a comment.
Hey, Yoggi, what do you say? And how many cities has he lived in?
I would say around about 8 or 9 different cities.
8 or 9 different cities.
And would he rather go boating or shopping?
Boating for sure.
Boating, really? Over shopping? Oh, okay.
With all those gadgets? What about new pets? Because he keeps having an accident with the old one.
I guess it depends on what you're shopping for. But definitely rather go do something adventurous rather than go shopping for sure.
Oh, that's funny. Okay, Bijal, what's the answer? Boating in 9 cities. Okay. Woo!
Got it right?
Awesome.
I was pretty close with 11.
Okay, and Linda's got another entry with Jamie Rules. She got another 4,000 entries.
4,000 entries!
And Bijal got another entry too. So I am going to upload these names into the wheel. This is your last chance right now. Make a comment to get entered into the draw. Last chance to get entered into the draw. And I'm going to
spin the
wheel.
And then we'll spin the wheel. It's really fun. Okay, now there's something else that I've learned recently, and it goes along the line of animals and pets and what you should or shouldn't call your dog, for example. And if you do call your dog a certain name, there's certain places you shouldn't take it. For example, do not call your dog Shark and then take him for a walk on the beach.
Okay.
Oh.
Shark! Shark! Get away from that Shark! Shark! You get here now!
Well, that's understandable. May cause some chaos right there. And some stress for all those people enjoying the beach.
A little bit of planning ahead. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. If you live by the beach, don't call your dog Shark. Awkward moment from my part.
Okay, I'm just getting this here, getting all of these screenshots.
You could probably just do a big long zoom,
Yeah, I can,
but you didn't.
but I didn't.
You chose to do it the
I
hard
chose
way.
to do it the hard way.
All right. You
Okay,
going to share the screen?
I am going to show the screen.
You going to tell me to stop telling you how to backseat computer drive?
Yep, exactly. Okay.
Don't push that button. You went too fast.
Okay, so
Close
let's
the attachment.
share the screen. Let's go like that. Share screen. Here we go. Okay. Here is the wheel of names. Can you see the wheel of names? Can you see a wheel over there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, good.
All right, here we go. So we are going to click to spin, and here we go. And the winner is Linda! Woo! With the comment, yes, it feels so good to get rid of items that no longer serve you.
Yay!
All right, now we're going to see what you want.
Yeah, now we're going to see what you won. So I'm going to remove this, and we are going to, let me get out of the way here. All right, Jamie's going to spin the wheel and make a deal. Jovan, cool. Here we go. Woohoo!
For those of you who don't know, when you move to Vegas and get a driver's license, they give you one of these.
Yep, just
Yeah.
make drum roll here, drum roll. So
So
we used to do it very cumbersome. This is our new method, and we're so excited about it.
We like our new method.
Jovan goes cool because she knows how we used to do it. So this is awesome. And what has Linda won?
Oh, Boost Natural Oxygen.
Boost Natural Oxygen. Grab that oxygen. I'll show you what you won, Linda.
This is the peppermint.
This is the peppermint, but Boost Oxygen. It's oxygen in a can. It's great for hangovers, apparently. It's also great if you're just low on energy. You can just literally just take a sip of oxygen. So
A lot of the you'll see these used a lot of the time on pro sports games where there's a break and they quickly run out and they're all just, you think, what are they drinking? But they're not. They're actually taking a swiff of air. Also, a lot of the medical people that wear masks all the time will use this for mask fatigue, you know, breathing through the mask constantly. So a lot
yeah,
of
I've got
people
a lot
are
of
using it
nurses
right now.
are using it right now.
Yeah.
Oh, Joe.
Very cool. Full price.
Yeah, great price. So Linda, I'll reach out to you, or you reach out to me, private message me your address so I can ship it to you, and we will ship it out tomorrow.
Mailing address.
Yeah, I'll need your physical mailing address with your zip code, and I will ship it tomorrow. So awesome, congratulations.
And your mother's maiden name, your favorite color, your pet's first name, and the last 12 digits of your social security number.
Yay, fun, cool. Yogi, thank you so much for joining us. How do they connect with you, and don't you have a 5-step process that you'll give them?
Yes, absolutely. Just go to Freedom from Staff. There's a very short form that they just fill out so that we can get on a call with each other, and then they'll receive my free space method guide. And I'll also throw in my VIP checklist as well, which is the first step that I have most of my clients work on, which is taking care of all your VIP, valuables, your important documents, your passport, making sure that everything is, taking care of all of this important stuff before we get into the big decluttering and organizing projects.
Love it. Love it. Thank you so much for joining us. The rest of you guys, feel free to go join us over on TikTok. We are going to be, oops, wrong one. Where's my TikTok? There we go. Go join us. We'll be at Amy Jo Honey on TikTok. So we're
In
gonna go
5
live.
minutes.
Yep, in 5 minutes, we're going to take a quick break, get some water, and we will be right back with you guys.
I'm going to declutter my bladder.
Nah.
Thank you guys. Thank you so much for having me here. It's been fun. It's been wonderful talking to you both and catching up too.
I'm super honored, and we'll talk to you very soon, Yogi.
Awesome. Thanks.
Thanks,
Bye.
everyone, for joining us.
Bye.